We got more from Vrabel coming up. That IR thing, I heard differently in real time. I think you heard it right, Keefe.
Thank you. Usually do.
He left the door open for IR more than I realized.
I'm not answering that. I'm just going to say he's not practicing today.
I kind of thought it was a little more dismissive. He left that door open more for IR than I thought.
I thought so, too. Now, he also is trying to play it where he didn't rule him out for Sunday either, right? So it's like
it's true.
He might play Sunday. I'm not saying he's not for sure going on the IR, though. Like, that also, I guess, could happen. Because at first, he didn't even want to fully commit to he wasn't going to be out there today. That doesn't sound like it. Like, guys, he's not out there. He's not going to be out there. All right, you got it out of me. He's not going to play. But, yeah, this is a major – he's the best player, not even up for debate on the team.
We were doing a lot of research on hamstring injuries in the last break.
Yeah, it's all over the map.
Well, it is. Their example, Justin Jefferson missed 7 games. Okay, so if it's a higher grade hamstring injury, like a grade 3 hamstring injury, you could miss a chunk of time. Players have gone on IR with hamstring injuries. Mike Evans did it last year in season. I think Nico Collins did it last year. Or was it 2 years ago? He did it recently.
Right.
But A.J. Brown is another one that did it in camp. A.J. Brown missed about a month. He's back out there. He's practicing with the Eagles. He injured his hamstring around a similar time. He's an older player than Gonzalez. He's not up for a contract. He got his contract. And what do you know? He's back out there and ready to go, and Gonzo's going on over 5 weeks since his. So they're not all the same, but I would say most hamstring injuries are like 3 or 4 weeks, and you're back out there. He's going on 5+. You don't read into his annoyance at all today as frustration with Gonzalez? You still don't?
See, I don't think he – how do you know exactly how hurt the guy is?
Well, we don't know, but
yeah.
I would just go off the Jordan Schultz report, and you could be right. Maybe it's a bum report.
Yeah.
There was a lot of optimism around that report initially.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the team was optimistic about it. They're like, it's a grade 1 hamstring issue. He's going to be no problem for week 1.
Yeah.
And they're still waiting for him to be back out there because they don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I leave the door open to that. Or it's just, hey, this team isn't that good. My best player is out. And even if he has a good reason to be out, this stinks. Like, we talked about the roster cutdown day. It was as, like, depressed as Vrabel has sounded all camp long. And you're like, we didn't know, is he just really looking at the 53 guys on the team now and being like, we are a far ways away? And now you take Gonzo out, so he's being asked about his best player being hurt, and he's just like, yeah, this isn't great.
I'd also remember, Vrabel brought up his contract before he was even hurt.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's looming over all of this, too, and maybe informs my opinion on it. People are like, Jones just says whatever or hears whatever he wants to hear, making crap up. I mean, maybe I wouldn't rule it out. Vrabel's the one who brought up his contract before he even got hurt.
Right.
Which I thought was odd at the time. And I didn't make that one up. I heard that one.
Oh, he did?
And Vrabel did.
No, that was strange. That was stranger than this.
So hear what you want to hear with Vrabel. This is more of that exchange where he got progressively snippier and snippier, again, just moments ago in Foxborough.
How much does a guy like him need to practice before you feel comfortable putting him in the game?
It won't be today, so I apologize, but, that's where it'll be. I mean, I do like where he's at from an engagement standpoint. We've been through this with other players, and like where he's at from that standpoint. In the meetings, locked in, following along at practice, which is difficult to think that a player that's not in there can follow along. I've been through that as a player and a coach, and I think he's done a nice job of being able to do that.
Okay, timeout. That jumped out to me the first time. It jumped out again hearing it now.
Oh.
I like where he's at from an engagement standpoint.
Yeah.
He's locked in the meetings.
Right.
So there's 2 ways to read that. One is, well, yeah, he's locked in the meetings. He's not out on the field. What could he possibly be doing out on the field? The other way to read it is, well, yeah, when he's in the meetings, he's pretty locked in. I wish he was that locked in when we were ready to go practice and everything else.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I found that to be an interesting answer from Vrabel.
Well, I even thought the first part was a non-answer. Like, the question was straight up, a guy like that, how much practice does he need? Because I think that's a fair question, because you're thinking about, even if you're like wishful thinking week 1, you're like, all right, if he's not practicing Wednesday, Thursday, do we all just assume that he's out? Or is this the type of guy, he's only been in the league a couple of years, if he practices Friday, and it's usually like a walkthrough, but if he's out there playing, then like, could he go? But he's like, he's not practicing today. And then he gets into like how engaged he's been in or out of the thing. So you're like, you didn't really even answer that question.
Good point.
Which just sort of leads to more follow-ups on Gonzo. You didn't even answer that one.
And with him, it's a new scheme. So
yeah,
I think in years past, Gonzo's probably taken the best guy and following him around. Not that it's all man-to-man 100%, but Is he going to have a side of the field? Is he going to have, like, I imagine, in other words, if you're trailing one receiver locked up one-on-one.
There's not a ton of scheme there. Let's just get the guy.
I'd think if you're healthy, you can just roll out there and play. Whereas if there's more scheme to it and fit with the defense, you might need more reps in practice, but that's just a guess. Let's hear more of that.
Is it important for players to get to 100%? Is every player different? Because
every player. I mean, I don't use percentages, but again, I'll remind you what we talked about as far as when I try to make decisions about players and returning. One, can they make it worse? One, can they protect themselves? We can all say what we want about this game, but it's violent. And can you protect yourself? And can you do your job up to the standard that we expect and that the player is used to? So those are the things that I've tried to use when making decisions. Maybe I'll add some to that, but that's what I've tried to use in my other experience in this position.
Okay, that was mostly a non-answer, right?
Yeah, but I think you get a little. He didn't say percentages, which is fine because I think that can be kind of tricky. But like his point with Gonzalez specifically, we mentioned it with all hamstring injuries. Like, can you re-injure it? So it's one of those things where if the trainer and those guys are talking about
that, tissue one, you're right, is definitely one you can re-injure, and it's a high rate of re-injury.
And that's why it doesn't like, hey, let's rush him back for week 1, which nobody is saying. Even Vrabel's not saying. We're not saying that. But if you rush him back for week 1, now he misses week 2 and 3, and then you hope he then the whole season's haywire.
Just again to be clear, right? Yeah, I would rather err on the side of caution.
Right.
Come back for the walkthrough on Friday, and then practice in full next week. To me, if they're erring on the side of caution this week against the Raiders, I genuinely don't think it's a big deal. It's Jacoby Myers. It's Amari Cooper. Their best weapon in the passing game is a tight end who he's probably not going to match up on.
Geno carved this team up. Was it last year or the
Good
year
point.
before?
That was last year.
Yeah.
Good point.
Carved him up.
I don't think it's a huge deal if he misses week 1 and they're erring on the side of caution.
Right.
But I don't want him to re-injure anything. But if he's cleared, he's, again, to use Curran's number yesterday, 85%. He should be out there week 2 against Miami. All right, text line is saying I didn't hear any snippiness from Vrabel. That's because it hasn't started yet in the replay. If you heard it live, he gets very snippy here.
Reports, and I know that didn't come from you, but the initial reports.
Yeah, I mean, please, guys. I mean, we have this is the first Wednesday of the season, and he's not going to be at practice. And just please use your time as efficiently as we can about our team, about the Raiders. And I know Christian is a large part of our team, but he's not going to be out there today, so that's all I can update.
Okay.
Yeah, use your time better.
Why don't you use your time better?
Why don't you use your time better,
I mean,
please?
I think we've heard that in 1 or 2 Patriots Monday interviews over the years.
Yeah. So then if you want to go full Bill Belichick playbook, don't you usually on Wednesday start out by doing like a 3-minute filibuster on the Raider? You name every Raider on the other team, and then people are like, wait, what is going on here?
I think he only named 3. It was very un-Belichickian. I think he named Bowers, Genty, and Geno. I think
3
that was
guys
it.
I know.
Yeah. I think that's all he did.
Surface level Raiders breakdown.
If you want to filibuster and take away what the media is going to do and not tell them how to do their job, which is what he's doing there.
Yeah.
Guys, use your time efficiently.
But like, call me crazy. I think
you filibuster at the start. That's how you would do it.
But I'd rather hear about Christian Gonzalez and what's going on with him than I would the punter for the Raiders, which is what like Bill would sort of inject that at times, Like they understand they only get like 10 minutes with Vrabel today or whatever.
Yeah.
At least he did answer 3 minutes of Christian Gonzalez questions before he shut it down.
Before he started lecturing.
Yeah, but it was a lecture. Like just say, guys, I answered that. I gave you everything I have. Yeah. And I guess that is.
Hey guys, it's the first Wednesday before the game. So yeah, we know.
That is similar to what he did. It's just when you go the extra layer and say, guys, please use your time efficiently.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Like that just feels like a bit much, and that felt like he's agitated about it. Now, again,
it's maybe like Patricia, why don't you sit up in your seat a little bit, have some respect?
There's a little bit of that.
A little bit.
Not quite that extreme.
Well, that's because we got full bill. It's like, I've already answered this 5 times, guys.
Yeah. Guys, I told you everything I know about Gonzalez. You got the injury report later today. You could have done that.
Do you guys have anything else?
Now, look, I may have interpreted that similar as snippiness about, I think, Gonzalez and not the media, but look, maybe I'm reading too much into something and he's just annoyed at answering the same question 10 different ways, 10 different times. It's possible. But that's Mike Vrabel on Christian Gonzalez. I would say that he seems annoyed to me. I'd imagine about Gonzalez, and I would definitely say wouldn't expect him out there week 1.
Yeah.
Which seems to be where this is trending. And I think Keefe is right. I think the door is open for an IR stint. The door is open for an IR stint.
I don't think he shut that down.
I don't think he did either.